when I went through the program, when I showed up on the mountain, I mean, you'll ask anybody here, they met me before and after. They know the Michael before and they know the Michael after. And they say that they see a light in me. They see a fire burning for Christ inside of me that wasn't there when I showed up on this mountain. I was dull. I mean, life was boring. It was what I wanted to do, not what God wanted me to do. And to see me come from that, for this to be my second time serving, and especially to be able to baptize my brothers that I brought up here with me, that's something special. That's something that I'm always going to hold on to. And I look forward to the day when they can wear a red whistle and they can be a coach with this program as well.
So personally, I've experienced, just speaking to God. Originally, before I came here, I didn't have a good relationship with God. And now that I've came here, I've been able to understand and learn more about it.
So I'm not going to lie to you. When I first heard that he wanted to bring me, I didn't know what to expect. I was just kind of coming because he wanted me to. But when I got here, I quickly realized that it was the best decision I made, because I didn't realize how distant I was from God before this weekend. And after the lessons and the testimonies and all that, I'm this close to God now. I got myself saved. He baptized me, and I did it with him too. That makes it that much better. So I'm extremely glad I went on this trip.
Can you talk about your testimony?
Absolutely, brother. So I was, to have a shortened version of it, I was adopted when I was young. I went through 7 foster homes, 3 years with my sister. A few of them, were abusive. There were things that happened to me that, I didn't talk about much before I came here. When I was a couple years back, or last year actually, right before I came to one of these weekends, I didn't see anything for me. There's a lot going on, and I just didn't see anything for me, and I almost took my life on a bridge off a dirt road. And some lady was driving by. She was going from one point to another. Shouldn't have even been going through there. She said she just did. And she went through there. She passed me, turned around, came back, pulled in behind my truck, and she said, "Are you doing okay?" And dome light wasn't on the truck, and it was dark outside. And I said, "I'm doing fine." And she opened the door of the truck, and the dome light came on. She saw a rifle sitting there, because when I saw her pull up, I moved it. She goes, "What's that for?" And then I broke down right there. It was obvious what I was doing there, man. I didn't see anything. So being that I didn't see anything doesn't mean I didn't have everything. And she texted 911 and got a couple officers there to talk to me and to see where I was at. And I have one of their numbers, and I keep in touch with them, even still today. But I came to this Discipulado meeting, and I'm going to be honest, I was kind of like him. I didn't know what to expect. Nobody does when they come to this mountain. They just know they're gonna get good food, and they're gonna talk about God, and that's about it. And then you go through these movements, and that's what changed me. I do believe if you ask other people here, you're gonna get a lot of different answers, but there's gonna be one constant: brotherhood. I mean, I walk in that door right there, and I can go in there, and I can say hey to any of them. They're going to come up to me, look at me, give me a big smile. "How are you doing?" It's not the, "Hey, how you doing?" It's the, "How are you doing?" That makes me feel special. And any one of them I can pull aside and say, "Hey, I just need to talk for a minute." They'll say, "Okay." They'll stop what they're doing. It doesn't matter what they're doing. They will stop, and they will come, and they will talk and give you counsel. I mean, it's a beautiful thing. It's something that a lot of men today don't talk about. But that's what Discipulado is.
Yeah, and to add on to what he said, before today, I've never seen a group of men, 70 plus men, get together and freely be able to talk about their feelings, what they've been through, tragic events that's happened. I've never seen that before today, because social media out there, men have to be strong or whatever. Yep. It's not easy to talk about your feelings. But here, I realized within 2 hours of being here, everybody's just open and freely talking.
Like it should be.
Like it should be, yeah. And it really is a brotherhood in there. From ages 16 all the way up to 80 plus. It was great.
How old are you?
I'm 16.
You 16?
He is, yeah.
I thought you more.
It-
25?
Beard's false advertisement. Beard's false advertisement.
How old are you?
I'm 18. I'll be 19 and yeah, I'll be
20.
Nah, that's good.
How old do you think I was?
I don't know. I mean, you matured. Discipulado.
so and Luke, if you wanted to go, you can go, but last night when we were in the chapel and they had the 3 ladies there and like you could talk to them about anything, and then we burned the cross with all of your all the things you needed to be forgiven of. That broke me down, I'm not gonna lie.
Burn the notes.
Yeah, burn the notes. Because I didn't realize how many people I had to forgive until this trip. I was just kind of living with it. And then I realized how many people I had to forgive, and then I realized I needed to forgive myself too for many things. And that was my most impactful moment. I don't know about these two, but I'll give it to them.
I'll let you go.
One of my most impactful moments for this trip was whenever the first night we got here and somebody needed to be prayed for, and the entire church gathered together, put hands on each other, and prayed for him, and quite literally brought him to his knees. That was the most impactful thing and one of the most God-seeking things that I've ever seen.
Yeah. I'm going to say the highlight of this trip is knowing Luke McCormick for just about a year now, coming up on a year, maybe more. Known Gavin for a year, but actively being with him for 8-9 months, seeing where they were. I mean, being able to ask them the question, have you made a profession of faith in Jesus Christ? You gonna call that truck loud? You ain't seen Country Boys trucks. Anyways, so start from the beginning? Perfect. All right, so the impactful thing for me for this Discipulado was, knowing Luke McCormick for about a year, coming up on a year, knowing him for about a year as well, and hanging out with him for about 9 months, like a brotherhood. I mean, almost every day, all the time. And then seeing where they came from, seeing their daily lives, what they're focused on, and then to bring them here and to be able to stand in a pool and say, hey, you made a profession of faith in Jesus Christ, and for them to look at me in the eye and say, I have. And for me to say, and just, I mean, it made my heart warm when I looked at him and I said, okay, my brother, I baptize you now in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, buried in likeness of his death and raised to walk in newness of life. I mean, that warmed my heart. And that moment is always going to be with me wherever I go, and I hope it's with them. That's what we're about. That's what it was for me.